Imagine a place where ancient myths come to life and historical secrets are unveiled in unexpected places. Welcome to the site where the Euphrates River once flowed, now revealing a breathtaking sight from the dry river, leaving experts puzzled and visitors astonished. Join us on a captivating journey as we explore the golden mountains that emerged after the Euphrates River dried up. The Euphrates, along with the Tigris, defines Mesopotamia. The westernmost of the two, the Euphrates, is part of the promised land that God promised to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and their descendants. The Euphrates also nurtured Sumer, the first civilization, around 3000 BC, stretching about 1730 miles. The Euphrates is formed by the confluence of the Kara and the Murat. Originating from the Armenian highlands in present-day eastern Turkey, the Kara lies north of Erzurum, while the Murat emerges from an area southwest of Mount Ararat and north of Lake Van. The upper Euphrates meanders through steep canyons and gorges before flowing southeast across Syria and into Iraq. In eastern Syria, the Khabur and Balik rivers, both originating in Turkey, merge with the Euphrates. Downstream, no more water enters the Euphrates along its entire length. In southern Iraq, north of Basra, the Euphrates and Tigris rivers unite to form the Arvan/Shat al-Arab, which ultimately empties into the Persian Gulf. The river once branched into multiple channels at Basra, creating a vast marshland. In the 1990s, Saddam Hussein's government drained most marshes to suppress the rebellious Marsh Arabs. Since the 2003 invasion of Iraq, the drainage policy has been reversed, but the marsh's recovery remains uncertain. The Euphrates River, navigable only by boats with shallow drafts, is accessible up to the Iraqi city of Hit, located 1930 kilometers away and 53 meters above sea level. Beyond Hit, rocks and rapids render the river unsuitable for commerce. Annual floods occur due to snowmelt in the mountains of northeastern Turkey, but new dams and reservoirs in the upper reaches help mitigate some of the flooding. An 885-kilometer-long canal connects the Euphrates and the Tigris, allowing river barges to traverse between them. According to Genesis 2:14, 4 rivers, including the Euphrates, flow from the Garden of Eden. The Euphrates is the 4th river, following the Pishon, Gihon, and Tigris. In the Hebrew Bible, it is often referred to as the river. The word Euphrates originates from a root word meaning to flow out. The book of Revelation prophesies that the Euphrates will dry up before the battle of Armageddon. Islamic hadiths, sayings of the Prophet Muhammad, also predict the drying up of the Euphrates, revealing hidden treasures and sparking conflict. The Prophet Muhammad warned against taking anything from these discovered treasures. The waters of the Euphrates River are now receding as hydroelectric plants in Iran and Turkey disrupt the rivers that have long sustained Mesopotamia. Iraqis living along the banks of these historic rivers face the risk of having their lives drastically altered by seasonal droughts and inefficient management practices. The region is particularly vulnerable to climate change, with research projecting a 15 to 20% decline in precipitation in Iraq this century. This decrease could lead to a reduction of up to 73% in the water volume of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, further endangering the lives and livelihoods of those who depend on these vital water sources. Declining water levels in the Euphrates River are causing salty tides from the Persian Gulf to infiltrate river deltas, contaminating barley and wheat fields and killing cattle. Farmers face the loss of their livelihoods and must choose between abandoning their land and migrating to cities or waiting for government intervention, which has been underwhelming so far. Political conflicts in Baghdad often overshadow these peripheral challenges. While the Hadith may have been wrong about hidden riches beneath the Euphrates, the predicted struggle is emerging as drought forces refugees into cities. Accurate data on displacement is difficult to obtain, but reports suggest increasing social tensions between city locals and rural newcomers. Plastic shanty towns have emerged on the outskirts of Basra as refugees seeking work cluster around the city. Jobs for newcomers are often transient and sometimes insufficient to meet their needs. Locals perceive these newcomers as burdens on public resources, associating them with criminal activity and incompatible customs. Municipal officials blame the influx of migrants for their political failures, refusing to integrate them and increasing existing tensions. Newcomers are often held responsible for power outages or fuel shortages, and the refugee situation shows no signs of letting up. Around 85 miles of riverbank are now virtually barren due to increasing salt water. Climate experts warn that this crisis is only a precursor to more severe consequences. Aid organizations estimate that, within months, 12 million people in Iraq and Syria will lose access to food, water, and energy. Egypt faces an even more severe refugee crisis, with a population 2.5 times larger than Iraq. A massive hydroelectric project on a significant Nile tributary could destroy 75% of Egypt's fish farms, displacing approximately 30 million people in the largest refugee crisis in history. Even if the project were canceled, Egypt would still confront the same challenges as other countries in the region: a growing population and a drying environment. Mediating water-sharing procedures could slow down the devastation, but a lasting solution requires more than regional cooperation. As wars and elections dominate the news cycle, the global economy increasingly relies on fossil fuels, and the window of opportunity to reverse the situation is quickly closing. Climate change undeniably leads to widespread disruptions in social and cultural norms, and its early effects can be observed in the unstable social fabric of Iraq. Ultimately, those in desperate situations will do whatever it takes to support their loved ones. ISIS has exploited victims of poor harvests and starvation for over a decade, offering them quick cash and protection when governments fail to provide. It is not far-fetched to imagine other terrorist groups adopting similar tactics. Drought inevitably leads to displacement, tension, criminal activity, and recruitment. It is possible that the riverbanks, which witnessed the birth of civilization 8,000 years ago, are now hinting at the initial stages of a collapse, an ironic twist of fate. So, what do the controversial issues reveal? As with the Tigris, there is significant disagreement over the rights to use the Euphrates and how it should be utilized. Turkey's Southeastern Anatolia project involves constructing 22 dams and 19 power plants, making it the country's largest development project. The first dam was completed in 1990. Southeast Turkey continues to face economic challenges, increasing discontent among the Kurdish minority. In Syria, the Tabaka Dam, completed in 1973 and sometimes referred to as the Euphrates Dam, creates Lake Assad, which is used to irrigate cotton crops. Syria has also dammed 2 of its tributaries and is constructing a 3rd dam. Iraq has 7 dams, but water control was not a priority under Saddam Hussein. Since the fall of Ba'ath Iraq in 2003, water use has regained its importance as a top priority. Please share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you for watching.